came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars.
What they do?
They roar.
You say
Roar.
Roar.
You ready? Roar.
Could you, could you now read a bit?
I
to
can.
them?
Okay.
That everybody sits in.
Boys, you sit in the middle there. Excellent. Okay, I'm loving the wide respect that I can see and everyone is reading. Fantastic. We're going to read where the wild things are. Let's see. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind.
Touch that mic.
And another. His mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, I will eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. He doesn't look very happy. I can see some sad faces in the audience. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. It did. We can see it just up there growing. And grew. I see Max's, look at his face. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max. And he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, be still, and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all and made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. I can see some faces making the nation. And there, let's see if we can see some faces. Maybe you are the wild things. Oh, I can see some wild things. And there they are. And look at Max up the top. And there's Max up the top, king. Now stop! Max said and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so. And Max said, no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day and into the night of his very own room where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. Who liked that story? Fantastic. I thought it was a great story. I want to see if we can see some faces of some wild things. Who thinks that they can show me their claws? Who can show me their rolling eyes? That's a bit tricky. Oh, I like those rolling eyes. Who can do rolling eyes and gnashing teeth and their hands? Those are wild. I want to see some wild animals. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, you're scaring Mrs. Taylor. Oh, I think I must be Max and you're all the wild things. Okay, we're going to see, after 3, we're going to pretend Mrs. Taylor's hiding in there. I'm just hiding inside that round circle on the bottom, and we're going to see if we can show there, Mrs. Taylor hiding in there, those gnashing claws. Let me see our faces. And that. But we're going to look in there after 3. 1, 2, 3 inside there. And rolling eyes. Oh, those are scary noises. We can turn into Max. We're sitting up nice and straight. We're putting our Max suit on. Okay, so we're nice and quiet. Mum's made us a bit sad. She won't give us any dinner. So we're going to put our Max suit on. Put your Max arm in with your claw.
Okay.
Put your other one in. And I've got my other claw. Put your hood on. Have a look around. You might see. I think there's some forest growing up there.
No.
Have a good look. I think there's... I am going to read you a story today. We're going to read a story called Where the Wild Things Are. I love this book. We're going to listen to it. And I can see some great listeners. I am so lucky to be in this classroom today. Where the Wild Things Are. Oh, look at these lovely faces. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. And another. His mother called him, "Wild thing!" And Max said, "I'll eat you up!" Oh dear. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. He's very sad. I can see lots of sad faces. Don't worry, I think Max will be okay. That very night in Max's room, the forest grew. And grew. Sailed off through the night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Oh, I can see some scary faces. Till Max said, "Be still!" and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. And made him king of all wild things. And now, gnashing teeth ready. He's got their rolling eyes ready. Let's see if we can be terribly wild things. Fantastic. And they're still going. Let's see if we can do it again. Oh, that scared me. Now stop! Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No, wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through the day and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. I love that everyone sat so beautifully. That was a lovely story. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was great.
Right, thank you again. Okay, well, what's your favourite part of the book?
When Max said be still.
Okay. And which of the creatures do you like best?
Pete.
Okay. Do you have a favourite part? No, you don't, so? You do?
Pete,
What?
ask this little
Okay.
girl to show you the horns.
Okay. Tell me again what's your favourite monster. Which
The
one?
horns.
Show me. How does he look? Oh, great. And why is he your favourite?
Because I like it.
Well, that's probably the best reason in the world. Okay. What's your favourite? No? How about you? You can tell me your favourite, I know, because you just did.
When he was in the middle of the sea.
Does anybody think it's scary? Do you think the book's scary?
No.
Okay. What do you think happened to Max at the end of it? He just went home?
Yes. Yeah, I think he went home and just ate his dinner.
Okay. So everything was okay in the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody think he might have brought the monsters home with him later? Would he have done that? No? No, okay. I don't think his mother would have approved. It would have been a problem, I guess. Okay. What's your favourite part of the book? Hang on a sec.
When he
Just come a bit closer.
when he's met the monsters,
Why do you like that?
because it's a good pie and the monsters look good.
Okay. Anybody else want to tell me? Come on, you tell me. Come a bit closer. That's it. Okay.
And they say when Max was the king.
That's a good part. I like that part too. I'm sounding like Dora the Explorer. She always likes that part, doesn't she? Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Unless there's somebody else who'd like to say what they... Can you come a bit closer then? You tell me what you think. Just sit down.
Just wait.
One sec.
I like the part when, my second favorite part when Max, he put his suit on because it was a little weird.
The wolf suit
Yeah.
at the beginning. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good part too.
Because it's weird.
Yeah. You like weird stuff? Okay. Just a young man here. Just come a bit closer and tell me the bit you like best.
When Max got carried by the monsters on the back.
Okay. So you like the book? Everybody like the story?
Yeah.
Yeah, a really good story?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think Max lived happily ever after?
Yes.
I'm sure he did. No, I don't doubt it. Well, thank you very much
Keep going, Pete.
for talking to us. If you could just look at me while we just get some more, just look at this. What I was about to say was thank you very much for talking to us. This should be on Channel 9's news at 6 o'clock tonight, but whatever happens, I'll get a DVD made and we'll send it to Mr. Taylor, so you'll be able to see yourselves. Because we won't be able to use everything we've done here today on the news, but we can put it all onto a DVD, and I'm sure you've got a DVD player.
We sure do.
And we'll send the DVD to the school so you can all sit round and laugh at each other. Okay? Right, well, we'll do that. But I am very grateful to you all for taking all this time.
Maybe you just listen to, ask them, somebody to tell you something, I'll just get your
Oh, okay.
reaction.
So we just need one more person to tell me their favourite part. Who'd like to do that? One more person? Okay. Just come forward and tell me your favourite bit. What's your name?
Lisa.
Okay. What bit did you like?
When Max got see the monsters.
Okay, that's pretty good. Do you think they would have eaten Max? Huh? If they had a chance? Really? They might have snuck up on him and had a quick bite? No?
No.
No. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you all again. That's great.
Thank you.
When we get the DVD up.
Yep, that's good, Peter. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think
Who
we're
wants
right.
to shake hands with Peter? Pop up and say,
Shake hands? Oh, you want to give me high? Give me 5?
High five.
High five. Give me high five. Oh, great. Next. And you. And you. And you. And you. And who wants to give me the fist? Okay. All right. Okay, a shake? Very old-fashioned, but that's old school. Old school. There you go. Okay. Okay. Have you guys had lunch yet? I think it's about lunchtime, huh? Okay. Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. One more high five. One more time. Okay.
I'll give you a 5.
2. Okay. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
thank you, guys. Knuckles.
All right.
I can't shake hands with the other hand.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, there you go.
Got his hand. That's fantastic.
Is that heavy on the shoulder?
You feel it?
Ask you what you think of the book.
Oh, be careful.
No, that's all right.
Massive, isn't it?
It's heavy.
Can I look at the carpet?
David, watch
Strong.
your feet.
You got it?
I
can hold
can
it.
see. Oh, look, what's there? I can see. Hello. Oh, I can see. I just
Here, I'll show
see.
you a picture, but don't touch the
I want to
top,
see
yeah?
it.
Okay, for a sec.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll show you this
What's
way.
it? I want to see too.
Just wait a second.
around the table so
You can all see.
I can see someone.
No, look, we'll see it here, actually.
What is it?
What do you think of the book? You,
Yes,
you know,
me
as an adult.
personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what do you think it says to the kids? Okay? You right? All right.
Okay.
That's the question. I mean, what do you think of the book? What do you get out of it, if anything?
I think it's a great book. I think it's looking at a small boy who's obviously gotten into trouble, as you know many children do, and gets sent someplace for time out, which is supposed to be a time when we reflect on what we've done wrong. And I think it's true that a lot of children in that position when they've been in trouble are probably not thinking about what they've done that's bad, but using their imagination to pass the time. And I think although it can appear that meeting the wild things was quite scary, at the end you see that he gets to go home and have dinner, and as you saw, the children weren't scared of the characters and loved it and loved to reenact the book, and we actually did that last year at the school, and we got to build a boat, and
what do you think the kids get out of it, out of the story?
I
mean, apart from it being a nice, exciting story.
I think at the age that they are, so we're looking at 6 and 7 year olds, a lot of them would be looking at using imagination, perhaps that they are not using at home, perhaps they're too busy with computers and screen time, and get out of it that it's okay to go and play and make up stories, and I think that's great for children these days. We have far too much screen time and computer games, and just being able to use your imagination and pretending that there's a forest growing out of the roof is just great, and it's okay. And I think it's important for kids to realise that it's okay to use their imagination.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And where would you rate the book itself? When you look at the range of children's books for that age, where would you rate his books?
I think he's a fantastic author, and has. I think it's very hard to put a number on a book, and I think that picture books are often used for not just kindergarten but all the way through to year 6, and obviously the older the children are, the more in depth you can look at the themes of the story. And so although these kids may have just looked at very superficial parts of the story, you know, a lot of picture books can be really looked at quite in depth with older children.
Yeah,
So.
they obviously get a lot out of it.
Yes, and I think, you know, the fact that you've got such great illustrations is, and, you know, having the movie as well. A lot of kids sometimes come into books through seeing them at home through movies. I think it's a fantastic book.
Thank you very
Can I
much.
ask you two to say for 1 second?
And we revisit a lot
Just
of
recap
those.
a couple of those last questions if you can, Peter. It seems fine now, but
Yeah.
just to be safe, if you don't mind. If it's probably okay, but I just want to be...
All right, well, probably just the last question
Yeah,
again.
and just come back and touch yourself. And
See what I mean about doing everything twice?
Sorry.
You don't have to tell us
That's
anything.
okay.
Where would you rate the author and his books in terms of children's books, obviously?
I think that it's great literature. I think it's very hard to rate children's literature, but we do like to use interesting literature in schools, and we're trying to make sure that more and more of it is quality literature throughout kindergarten to year 6.
And you would say this is quality literature?
Yes, I think this is certainly something that is quality literature, and that's something that we can use. We usually use the book Where the Wild Things Are in the younger grades, but it is used throughout kindergarten to year 6, and teachers obviously look at different themes in the older grades when they're looking at picture books, and sometimes use different literature to compare books. So.
That's an interesting point you made about the theme. What do you think the theme is?
I think that it's...
Just pure adventure and imagination? Or?
Yes, I do think that it's full of adventure and imagination, and it's... yes, you've got me there now. I've got.
one thing you said before was
Yeah.
that it was good for kids to see. It's not afraid. Don't be afraid.
Yes,
of using your
yes,
imagination.
yeah. No, I think it's really great for kids to be able to see that it's okay to use their imagination. And in this time, we are so busy taking kids to after-school activities and letting the TV perhaps, you know, babysit them for us so that we can get on with our busy lives. And I think it's okay for kids to realise that we can turn off the television and the computer games and just use our imaginations, cut up some pieces of newspaper and dress ourselves in them, or get some of Mum or Dad's old clothes and, you know, create tents at home and create great imaginative play scenes
Yeah.
to play
No,
out.
it's a very important point. Thanks again, Angie. That's great.
Thank you. Sorry.